It's been a long time since I've made a long length video. I'll be trying to talk as much as I can. Been dealing with some personal problems for the past few months. So I don't know if some my subscribers are still maybe anticipating on some long length videos, but I'll be trying as much as I could to talk again. Practice my vocabulary once in a while. Practice some of my English. And work out at the same time. So I've been wanting to make a video. For the meantime, maybe do technically this would be like a story time on how I started on my fitness journey. I know maybe like videos like 4 years ago I've made some videos similar to this kind of topic before. Like, of course, I've been speaking like a broken record. I started with calisthenics. My goal was to do 100 push-up in one row without any rest or stopping whatsoever. Then it all boiled down to me being introduced to bodybuilding, and then the rest is history. But recently, I've been reliving, not technically, maybe you could call it nostalgic, me being nostalgic, but of course, we call this reigniting the goal of getting calisthenic skills. Because, come on, you have to admit, doing like static skills like the plunge, front lever, most especially the plunge, looks cool as fuck, and that is actually my goal. Like, even achieving like an advanced stock planche would be very, I would be very what do you call this, content. But let us not settle, or let us not limit ourselves. I think at least an assisted straddle plunge would be a very good goal before the would the New Year's Eve came. What I'm trying to do for this, or what my current split now is, I'm still doing your typical bodybuilding routine, an upper posterior split with some training, specifically targeting my plunge movement patterns and skills, and I am heavily more inclined to doing calisthenics than doing we call this your typical bodybuilding movement. Like, I replaced all of my bench presses with pseudo planche push-ups, doing some heavy weighted dips, some decline push-ups to help build my upper chest and my front delts. And they call this, I think, in my honest opinion, it would translate very well in doing calisthenic skills. I mean, not necessarily 100%, but of course, doing movements through space compared to just being in a exercise. Or sorry, I'm not sure. Correct me in the comments down below if calisthenics are the open chain or closed chain exercises. So what I'm trying to say is, doing or doing training specificity would, of course, obviously uh, would make me reach my goals even faster and more optimal compared to just doing random exercises just for the sake of, I don't know, maybe a pump. So what I'm doing now is I'll be warming up my back with some scapular pulls. So I'm doing this. I used to do this when I wanted to achieve a front lever. This would obviously warm up my back, my scapula, and specifically activate my lats, my rhomboids, even my rear delts without the assistance of my arms. Because as you know, whenever you do a pull-up, it's not just your back that forces you to perform the movement. Your arms, your upper arms and your forearms also contribute a lot with the movement. And with the front lever, most of the time it's actually more on the straight arm strength, as all calisthenic skills would require, in which it will also include in the planche, most specifically. That is why my challenge now before 2026 hits is to at least do an advanced tuck or an assisted straddle planche with straight arms. And then I've been wanting to like do a tutorial on how to start calisthenics from scratch. Again, I've had a high volume calisthenics background. I used to do a lot of push-ups, a lot of ab training without little to no equipment, and a lot of my mutual or close friends of mine have been asking on how to do calisthenics, even just the basic ones, not specifically like a street lifting type of routine, just the basic push-ups, pull-ups, dips, rows, and squats, and of course, technically, you can call a barbell squat a weighted calisthenics. So never skip legs, okay? And even in my routine now, I only do at least once or twice a week of direct leg work. And when I say once, I actually do only once. And if you're going to do at least one leg routine, or sorry, one volume on your legs, and justify it. And what I do with my legs now currently is either a heavy leg press or a high volume Bulgarian split squat. Yes, like at least, come on, if you're going to do legs once a week, why not do it hard? So yeah, and with the topic of weighted calisthenics regarding legs, if barbell squats are technically a weighted calisthenics, then what would be the hip hinge variation of a weighted calisthenics? In my opinion, it would be either a barbell good morning or the back extension with the barbell on your back. I don't know. Comment down below which one do you think would be the best answer in regards to what hip hinge would be a good addition to a weighted calisthenics routine. Doing another set of my scapulars. So when I started doing calisthenics, obviously, I couldn't even do like 5 reps of push-ups, let alone one rep of push-up, because unbeknownst to me, like the concept of body lever actually exists. So what I did was I actually did like a full-on straight normal push-up. But if you wanted to do it easier, an easier routine, you actually can do it in a kneeling position, therefore reducing the weight of your body. So you're manipulating your leverage whatsoever, thus making the exercise very easier. In the same concept that obviously if you cannot do a full-on planche, you can either manipulate your body lever into doing tucked, advanced tucked, or in a straddle position. Therefore, like you, how do you call this? You distribute your weight in a manner that would give you an advantageous leverage to execute and perform the skill in question. So what I did when I cannot do a full-on normal push-up is I did a chair dip. I'll demonstrate it to you here. So to perform a chair dip, first we obviously need a chair, and then, excuse me, you do your dips this way. Back then, I thought this exercise didn't do shit, but the next thing in the morning, I couldn't move my shoulders. My chest is burning. I couldn't explain why. I couldn't move a muscle, pun intended. And this part of my arms was super sore, which of course I would come to know as the tricep, which makes 2/3 of the arms. And ironically, I never did any bicep movement when I was starting. So when I was starting to get stronger at the bench, or sorry, well, technically it's still called the bench dip, but chair dips, when I started to get strong, my arms got big. At the same time, my lower chest got big. So I got that swooping motion that a lot of young boys envy. So when people around me started noticing the changes on my physique, they thought like I was taking anabolics. Like looking back, like the physique inflation right now has been going through the roof. That example is Tobey Maguire's physique on the first Spider-Man film, the Raimi-verse Spider-Man. If you show it to your typical young boy of this day and age, they would probably call it mid or even like beginner level. Back then, like even like Hugh Jackman's physique and the first X-Men, he actually don't look that impressive enough. And of course, that is me being influenced by the physique inflation of my day, of this day and age. But of course, it's quite impressive. I mean, he's one of the many few actors that started the sudden move of the Hollywood transformation of superhero action movie physiques. I mean, Christopher Reeve's also transformed his body from skinny twig to looking like a heavyweight boxer when he played the role of Clark Kent, aka Superman. I mean, Sylvester Stallone, of course, one of the many pioneers as well. He started looking a little bit husky, a little bit bulky. I mean, he looked like a legit heavyweight boxer. Then he took it to another level. He popularized the superhero, the action, or the action movie hero physique, wherein it emphasizes more of a V-taper compared to the classic physiques of the golden era bodybuilders like Arnold, Frank Zane, we call this Mike Manser, of course, Franco Colombo with their X-taper physique, which also emphasizes a huge sweep on the lower body, particularly on the quads and the adductors. But again, back to the topic at hand, everybody started accusing me of taking anabolics just because I got huge triceps. I mean, back then I was already aware of the importance of growing huge triceps more than the biceps if you want to have bigger looking arms. But of course, my goal was to do a one push-up, or at least 5 push-ups, then gradually do it one single set, then 100 repetitions, and then afterwards I can actually do 5 push-ups. So if I am going to coach myself, my younger self, I would actually keep the chair dips and then supplement my normal push-up if I want to achieve at least 1 repetition of a normal push-up with the kneeling push-ups, and then actually doing an incline push-up. No, not the decline push-up, the decline push-up, and wherein you actually use a bench or a bench or a chair, wherein you perform the push-up and then of course change or manipulate the body lever, turning it or creating the movement very easier on your joints, on your muscles, and then providing stimulus for growth and strength. And then I'll do another set of the scapulars. Speaking of scapulars, one of the biggest regrets I did when I was a beginner is I never did like enough volume and frequency on my pulling exercises, which would include my pull-ups, my rows, and doing like scapular work, like rear delt work, rhomboids, in which right now I am actually suffering because I have a very well developed anterior muscles, the nerve muscles, so the chest, the abs. As you can see, I've been skipping abs for a while, but they're still very well developed, which should also contribute to me cutting weight, and of course not doing a lot of heavy compounds. Well, not necessarily, it's just cutting weight, but they're still visible. The serratus obliques, they're still visible, but you could probably tell that I probably have body dysmorphia, and you are correct to say that. But compared to my mirror muscles, my back is still underdeveloped, most especially my lats. So if I am to train my younger self, coach my younger self, I would balance out my pushing muscles with my pulling muscles, because I actually, besides having underdeveloped back, I actually suffered a lot of injuries on my wrist, my elbows, and most especially my shoulders. Spamming a lot of push-ups, a lot of dips without doing warm-ups. That is also one of the many contributing factors why I actually can't bench heavy anymore or do heavy overhead pressing anymore, but I can actually still do heavy weighted dips, thank God. And I can only do machines, heavy machines for pressing. I mean, it's contributing a lot. I mean, I seen a lot of gains on my upper pecs with using machines and cables, but first there's still the primal feeling of moving heavy free weights with doing heavy barbell bench, dumbbell bench, and overhead, like barbell overhead pressing. But maybe in the meantime, if I can get to have this one checked out, I hope I get to rehab soon enough. For the pulling movement, I would supplement a lot of rowing, like inverted rows, to balance out with doing a lot of push-ups. And with inverted rows, the lot of beginners mistakes they tend to do is, once they get stronger with doing calisthenics, they tend to ditch it, abandon it, and then transition to heavy weighted movements, like doing like barbell rows, dumbbell rows, cable machine rows. And it's not really entirely bad per se, but like doing calisthenics not only to supplement as a rehab or doing it as a finisher, an optional finisher workout or workout alternative, but doing inverted rows actually contributes a lot of good volume, good tonnage to your overall weekly workout split, and it actually hits muscles that sometimes heavy barbell rowing cannot hit. That's why I've been introducing a lot of inverted rows again in my split. Because again, I have very underdeveloped mid traps, underdeveloped rhomboids, and even underdeveloped rear delts, which would actually contribute a lot of with your a lot with your posture, a lot with your overall physique. Because with the mentality, or actually, Alex Leonidas is very ahead of his time. Back then, he was very often made fun of because of his obsession with the yoke, which would contribute with the neck, the trap, not just the upper trap, overall your whole trapezius muscle. So your upper, mid, and low traps, your rhomboids, even your rear delts. He was very ahead of his time. Not only it obviously contributes with you looking more jacked, looking more massive, but the overall posture. I mean, as you can see, it's my underdeveloped rear delt. Yeah, I mean, I look good in front, but when you look at sideways, I actually look small. That is why one of my main goals now not only is to perform at least an advanced tuck, or to an advanced tuck to an advanced, or sorry, assisted straddle planche. I would also like to build my yoke from the ground up. I mean, I've been doing a lot of heavy hip hinges, a lot of deadlifts. Being a tall lifter, I actually have leverage advantage. An advantage in terms of leverage in performing deadlifts. But my growth in terms of growing the yolk. I think I have to be very specific. I've been doing a lot of back extensions, a lot of direct trap work, not only shrugs, doing a lot of like what do you call this? Oops. I've purchased, I know you've seen this for a while, some chest expanders. I mean, ironically, as the name suggests, I actually use the chest expanders for my mid-back, my rhomboids, my rear delts, and actually contributes very well. And of course, like even my side delts, surprisingly, it actually hits my side delts. And then besides back extensions, of course, isolations, doing a lot of rear delt work. Not only it helps with the blood flow, like rehab, of course, it grows your rear delts, your rhomboids, and overall it helps with your posture. I know it's, again, I've been beginning to sound like a broken record, but I could not tell this enough. If I was to coach my younger self back in 2015, that posture is key, movement is medicine, and looking good is not the end all be all solution to having a healthy body. Sorry for the weird cut. We're moving to the floor right now. We'll be performing like planche leans. Supersetting pseudo planche push-up with planche leans. So when I mastered the push-up, I now leaned into the goal of doing at least 5 like normal pull-ups. I actually didn't know, again, the hack of how they call this, the hack of unlocking your first pull-ups with the help of resistance bands or even the use of pull-down machines. Because back then I was like a calisthenics purist. I didn't have access to a weight room back then, like a normal gym, like all of you right now are very lucky to have. But back then I actually, when I cannot perform at least a single pull-up, what I would do is I would jump on a door frame, which of course I also don't have a pull-up bar, a regular pull-up bar. Even the cheap ones you would buy on eBay or Amazon. What I would do is I would jump on a door frame and then slow down on the negative, the eccentric part of the movement. So first, I'll do at least 5 repetitions, if not more, on the pseudo planche push-up. Oops, too far. Back to my story, like I would do pull-ups when I cannot perform a single repetition. I would jump up and then let my back muscles do all the work with a slow eccentric, or the going down phase of the movement. And this in turn, like a week or 2 afterwards, got me at least 2 to 3 clean reps while listening to City Fletcher. I remember those days. Technically it was cringer, but still very nostalgic and healthful regardless. So of course, still to my younger self, I would gladly keep that, like doing slow negatives, and at the same time, uh, like invest on bands, like even the thick ones. I mean, the thicker the better. That's what she said. But anyway, the thicker the band is, the more it assists you. But the thinner it is, the harder the movement will be. Of course, it will be harder since you're still beginning. But like at least 3 sets of AMRAP, or as much reps as possible, because the goal here is to become stronger. And of course, as a novice, regardless of your diet, your sleep schedule, your hydration, your workout split, even in the most junk, most garbage workout split you can do as a novice, you would still gain muscle, because your body needs to adapt, and for your body to adapt, you have to get stronger. And since you're doing a lot of resistance against your own body, or an external load, aka weights, your body has to activate your central nervous system, and then recruit more muscle fibers to perform and execute the movement. And then of course, when your body is stressed, your body needs to recover. You need your nutrition, your food, your hydration, your electrolytes, and then rest, recovery, so your sleep, and maybe do some stretching, some, what do you call this, some massage, whatever, if you're privileged enough, do all of that. But like simple eat, sleep, train, repeat, the good old classic trick in the book. It worked. Even if it worked for me, why not for you, right? So rows, pull-ups, that's it. No need, no fancy type of exercises. I mean, you can do like snow angels, reverse snow angels, as I've learned that with Mike Rosa from Anabolic Aliens. Shout out to Anabolic Aliens. Those guys are the real OG in turning me into a workhorse and energy. I still have sore front delts and chest. Whew. Let's go, this man. So again, this is the dark side of chasing 2 goals at once. I mean, of course I want to look like a bodybuilder. I mean, not the most competitive. I cannot do that. I'm not that committed yet. At the same time, I also want to achieve like at least semi intermediate. I don't know if advanced stock planche is intermediate or advanced. Correct me down below in the comments down below. But doing like juggling 2 goals at the same time is taxing not only on your body but on the mind as well. Sometimes it can be demotivating, and you just overall throw it all away. So yeah, maybe I'll try doing like static skills instead of doing like a normal push-up, like straight arm work assisted with resistance bands, and let's see it from there on. Next up, I'll be doing like top front levers. I haven't done this for a while. Here goes. Went smoothly. I think my theory, I don't know if this is still a theory. Oops, fix the camera. That also based on my experience, that like doing like pulling based static skills are technically easier because of course we're primates, we're apes, and we're built to grapple. In the same way, we're built in the realm of combat sports, like doing grappling sports. It's actually more efficient than doing like striking arts like boxing, like kickboxing. I don't know. This is just based on my observation. You can correct me down below on the comments, but like doing front lever for me, it's actually very actually progress faster compared to doing like what do you call this, like the plunge. I mean the handstand. Maybe I can contribute this to my fear of falling and like poor bodily coordination, but I'm also trying to fix my handstand as well, because I mean like maybe someday like I can do like walking handstand, because like walking upside down looks cool in my honest opinion. And then what else? So if I was to coach my younger self, like no neglect legs, even if you're a tall individual, like 5'6" like taller, like you're in the realm of being a giant. Like even like guys I know that are 6 foot and taller, they have a hard time gaining weight, obviously because their anthropometry tends to be longer. They're like their limbs are like what do you call this, they're like lands, and like the longer your land is, so damn, I forgot the terminology. I learned this from natural hypertrophy, like the yeah, so when you have longer limbs like I do, I mean I've been seriously training my arms directly for the past 3 years, and they're still not big. Like yeah, I mean if you can remember, I started a series Road to 18 Inches Arms. I'm not sure if they have grown past like 17.5 inches, but the longer your limbs are, the more real estate you have to fill in. By real estate, uh, it's a metaphor in which you have to work hard to fill in more gaps. So you have to eat a lot of food, you have to be in a surplus to at least notice some gains, and of course direct work in the arms, so targeting your biceps, your triceps, your brachialis, the most underrated part of your arm, and of course your forearms also contributes with the size of your arms, your upper arms, ironically, and of course your legs. So again, if you want to have the X taper physique, your quads, the teardrop, the outer sweep, and then adductors. I mean, you can do as much hip hinges, a lot of hamstring work, but the adductors, the ones that is in between your groin area, that one can also contribute a lot of size and its overall appearance when you are at the front view. But right now, since I'm trying to achieve like at least an advanced stock, I've been skipping legs for a while, decreasing, like cutting at least some weight on my lower body um, to make my leverage a lot easier when I'm performing like at least a tuck planche, because the tuck planche, doing it like long enough, like even for 5 seconds, is very taxing. So cutting a lot of size and girth on my lower body actually helps and contribute uh, more faster on my planche progress. And then what else? But if you are a beginner, you're a novice, and you wanted to have noticeable gains on your lower body, like doing like a knee extension type of exercises, I mean, that is beside the squat. So doing CC squats, uh, a lot of quarter rep squats, wherein you pump out a lot of squats in like the 90 degree angle, wherein your knee is parallel to the floor. That actually pumps you a lot, and you're gonna be gasping for air when you push yourself hard enough. Of course, doing like lunge variations, like doing like weighted versions. Of course, your dumbbell lunges, your barbell lunges, and then doing it on the bench, which is my bread and butter. Currently in my lower body split, the Bulgarian split squat. I mean, again, if you're going to justify like doing legs once a week, why not do the most or one of the most hardest variation of a leg movement, like at least 3 sets, 12 to 15 repetition, like even with the uh, variation with no weights, like do it slow and controlled, wherein you have to feel your muscle working to perform and execute every repetition. It's actually very taxing, not only with your cardio, your muscular or cardiovascular endurance, your muscular endurance, with, and then your central nervous system. It actually challenges you also with your mental toughness. And then for your hamstrings, underrated. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Like doing like reverse Nordic curls, underrated. Doing it with home workouts. I mean, you can push your volume to the max with doing reverse Nordic curls. Be careful because you might like damage your knee if you do it while you're a cold turkey. You haven't warmed up enough. Do it slow and controlled. If you are not flexible and mobile enough, just do it half rep. Then again, moving with the hamstrings, hip hinges, Nordic curls. Also, very underrated in terms of muscle growth and mobility and flexibility in terms of your posterior chain. I mean, you can just tuck your tuck your feet in a very heavy furniture or heavy sofa, and then just crank out, like just even do like the eccentric version, like you have to push yourself off the floor and then slowly perform the eccentric part. That will give you dumps for days, and I know this because of experience. Like also I also remember that you can also hit your hamstrings with the Bulgarian split squat. I learned this from Jeff Cavalier, ironically, from Acquaintance. What you're gonna do is, so you're gonna do like your standard Bulgarian split squat, position, and then what you're going to do is you have to lean forward. What happens in this? What happens in that position is your hamstrings actually gets activated, gets stretched, and then every time you perform a rep of the split squat, your hamstrings contribute a lot with doing like the knee extension. Therefore, you get to hit your hamstrings. Let's do at least a straddle front leap. Yep. Oh, I think that would be it. This video has been taking too long. A good friend of mine actually asked some tutorials on how or what exercises on the realm of calisthenics he should do if I were to coach him, and it came to mind that it would be also a great idea, since this would mark my decade of training. I know I don't look like someone that trained at least a decade, but come on, you have to give when it is due. Like, give credit when it's due. I mean, I could have done like a faster progress, but hopping programs, listening to snake oil salesman on the realm of fitness has cost me a lot. But with the introduction of the Noble Natties, Jeffrey Verdi, Schofield, Calisthenics, natural hypertrophy, and some more to come, has gave me like another it I don't know how to emphasize this or phrase this, like it gave me a new sense of purpose on my goal of bodybuilding, like performance based goals, like again, like achieving calisthenic skills like I was reborn. Like, I remember like in the middle of 2022, like I decided to go balls to the wall, like go serious, like go ham on my training. No more nonsense, no more following of fake natties. Like, so that would be it. Thank you for watching and have a good day. This has been taking too long. Goodbye.